what the issue is, but I think that, you're calling it not being very nice to my staff. And
Me and her had a good conversation. I mean, the lady, she said she was even going to try to help me. She even want to told me come today. That's how I got the information.
you weren't supposed to be here today. We gave you a date
Yeah,
of
but we're not.
December 16th
Yeah, but
for
when I
the,
called and I explained to her that I won't be here, I won't have nowhere to stay while I'm here, and I told her she said bring my information, my documents that I had to prove that I had eviction and I was moving back home to my mom. So how can I be here on December 16th if I'm leaving on the 15th?
you've got this case open, right? So you can't just
I know that's
move and leave without taking care of this first, you know?
I know, but that was already arranged. That's why I called and did due diligence to say, hey, how do I go about this process?
Okay, so you need a lawyer, right? We spoke about that last time.
That's why I brought everything to show that I have an eviction. How can I pay for a lawyer?
The hearing opens with immediate confusion. Miss Farrow walks up, insisting she came because staff told her to, yet the judge reminds her that her actual court date is December 16th. Right away, we feel the tension as she tries to explain she won't have shelter by that date and was simply following instructions she received on the phone. This moment sets the tone instantly. She believes she's doing everything right, but the judge is frustrated by mixed communication. It's tension versus desperation in real time. Who do you think is confused here? The court or Miss Farrow?
I don't even have the money for one. And I'm
If I remember last time you came here, you said you have your own business. You've got
just because I have business, that
four
doesn't mean I
trucks
make money. Yeah,
that
I
you've
did,
got.
but I'm here because the guy who I'm here for ruined that truck, totaled the truck, and I don't have it. I never got it back. That's why I'm here. My livelihood was ruined by the guy that I'm here for.
And now charged with terroristic threat.
That's fine.
You've been filed on for this case.
I just came here to respectfully see how can I go about the process that a person, when I called, a rep told me to do this. So I came here to respectfully go about the process the right way, so I don't miss court. Paper says if you can't make it to do your due diligence, so I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm not getting the, I guess, response or help. I don't know.
Okay, so you work now currently, don't, right?
My livelihood, no, my livelihood, my work was my truck. It is ruined. It is gone. I have no work.
Ms. Fioro explains that she can't afford a lawyer and that her business collapsed after the man connected to her case destroyed her work truck. She says her entire livelihood was taken from her. The judge interrupts. She's been charged with a terroristic threat, and this case must be handled properly before she leaves the state. You can hear the frustration in her voice. She feels wronged, broke, and unheard. But the judge is focused strictly on procedure, not emotion. Do you think the judge should show more empathy here, or is she right to stay firm?
The guy I was here for that worked with me crashed and totaled my truck, which means my work, my only livelihood, my business is ruined.
What were you doing before?
I had my business for 6 years,
Doing what?
running a commercial fleet service, 26-foot box trucks.
Okay, and how much money were you making a month?
Monthly, after pay, I would say maybe 8,000, and that's including paying for the truck note, truck insurance, and rent.
Okay, so how much money do you make now, a month?
I haven't made money since he trashed my truck, which was what, September 28th or something like that?
So you tell me you've been out of work since
I have
September,
been getting help
now
from
in
my mom.
November?
I've been out, I don't have work, I had a business.
How do you support yourself now?
Family is helping me, which is why I say I'm going back home to my mother who's helping me. I
Okay,
worked
so
very hard in my life. I'm not a dummy. I have degrees. I worked very hard in my life. I worked for American Red Cross. I also have a phlebotomist certificate. I also have a.
The judge asks about her employment, and Ms. Fukuro passionately explains she hasn't worked since September because her truck, a $72,000 investment, was totaled. She stresses her education, professional background, and hardworking reputation, growing more emotional as she explains how deeply the loss affected her. This is a powerful, emotional moment. She shifts from defending herself to pleading for understanding, trying to prove she isn't irresponsible, just devastated. The judge, however, remains unmoved. Have you ever felt like someone judged your situation without knowing your full story?
Say like, I'm not dumb, stupid, or slow. You're not talking to the one who's sitting here in front of you claiming something. I've worked hard in my life with the American Red Cross for 12 years. Not dumb, stupid, or slow. I opened a business. I started a business, and the man ruined my business. And I'm here for free. Yes, I did. If you call it a terrorist there, call it what you want. Someone ruined my livelihood that I worked very hard for, would not return it. I don't have the keys to my livelihood. $72,000 truck with a loan still on it that I still have to pay for. I don't have it.
I can give you an application for an appointed lawyer. We need you to fill it out. Don't just put zeros. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, how many cars you have, house, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, IRAs. Just fill it out and I'll take a look if you qualify. And if you qualify,
Again, if I'm not going to be here, I have an eviction. I don't know what more you need to see if you need me to miss court because I'm not going to be here or be sleeping on the street. I don't know if that's what you want from me. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I went to school to plan to live my life. I don't know if you want me here living on the street. They get the court system.
The judge tells her he can give her an application for a court-appointed lawyer, but warns her not to fill it with zeros. He needs honest financial details. Miss Firu pushes back emotionally, saying she brought documentation and feels like nothing she does is enough. We see a clash between emotional urgency and rigid legal structure. She feels cornered. He feels she's being difficult. Is the judge being too strict, or is she getting too defensive?
But again, if I have an eviction that I've worked to you from a community complex, a legal document, where do you want me to take it to December 16th?
you can't just take off.
I did not say that. That's why I am here to ask you the correct procedure. That's why I am here. I came here to ask you to do my due diligence, so I don't just take off. I could have a million people just take off. I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm just not getting the proper, I guess, or respectable response.
I don't appreciate your passive aggressive.
I'm just trying to do my due diligence, and you're just saying, I don't know.
I know that you're touting the due diligence word, and I've told you also repeatedly that you need a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer can give you guidance. I cannot. I can't give you legal advice. I cannot give you guidance. I can only tell you that you need a lawyer, what you're charged with, what you're facing, the bond conditions that you have. At this point in the game, it's lawyer. You need a lawyer.
The judge becomes firmer. He tells her repeatedly, "You need a lawyer." He reminds her that he cannot give legal advice and that she must follow procedure. He also points out that her tone with staff and the court has been inappropriate, hinting she's been threatening on the phone. This is where the courtroom energy flips. The judge brings up allegations about her behavior, something she strongly denies. Suddenly, it's not just a financial or scheduling issue, it's a conduct issue. Do you think the judge should have mentioned the alleged threats, or was that unnecessary?
Lawyer. I've told you that you need to go hire one. You're telling me that you don't have money, that you've not worked since September. So the next stage is I give you an application to fill out, and I'm going to give you an application to fill out, but don't give it to me with all zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. Just fill it out honestly, fill it out thoroughly, and I'll take a look whether you qualify. And if you do, I'll provide you with a court-appointed lawyer. But you got to understand, in this life, the way that you've acted to me, the way that you've threatened the staff, the way that you've threatened my coordinator on the phone, in this life, you get
Your coordinator, I had a very good conversation.
Your only discussion was with the judge.
you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
I'm sorry, can I say something? Me and the coordinator had very good conversation. So what coordinator did you spoke to that told you that? Because we had a good conversation and she just said no. I had a very good conversation with the coordinator who actually told me, no, come up here tomorrow. I said, I can come next. She said, no, come tomorrow. If I was you, gave me correct steps. So I don't know.
Miss Farrow insists she was polite to staff and had only one positive phone call. The judge responds with a life lesson. You get more honey than vinegar. He warns her that attitude affects outcomes in court, with lawyers, and in general. A moment of real-world advice drops into the legal exchange. But you can feel her frustration. She believes her courtesy is being misrepresented. Do you think attitude truly changes courtroom outcomes?
It wasn't Latoya Furlow. I don't appreciate that part because I've never had an incorrect conversation with anyone on the phone. I called one time and got that information one time from a lady who thanked me, and I had a conversation outside of this with that person on the phone. So it was not a rude conversation at all, for not even a second.
A big part of this life is also listening. I've been trying to explain you stuff as well. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar in every aspect of life. If you act like this to the lawyer that we give you, you're not going to have a good relationship and it's not going to go well. So remember, be patient, be nice. It takes a while to get evidence. Rome wasn't built in a day. So if we give you a lawyer today and you start hooting and hollering, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, it takes time.
Yes, sir, you're judging me. I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
I'm just telling you.
The prosecutor steps in to clarify. The victim isn't her former employee at all. It's his family, including a child. Ms. Furo tries to speak, but the judge shuts it down immediately, reminding her that she has the right to remain silent and should use it. This revelation completely shifts the narrative. She thought this was about the man who wrecked her truck, but legally, this case involves threats toward a family. Huge emotional turn. Did this twist surprise you? Who do you think misunderstood the situation?
Be patient and be nice because it goes a long way in every aspect of life. All right, do you mind giving an application? Thanks.
Judge, I don't want to get into the facts or anything, but I just want to correct any misrepresentations that were made to the court. The complaint.
Wait, hold on.
The complainant in this case is not her former employee, it's his family. So the people that she was naming, his brother-in-law, sister, and their child. I just want to make that known to the court. It was not the employee that was the complainant in the terroristic threat.
Okay. Do we have proper bond conditions in place now?
They don't speak English. Yeah, say anything.
Ma'am, Ms. Furlow, it's not your turn to say anything. Just please. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right.
It looks like there's a no contact as part of the bond conditions, which I think is.
On the appropriate complaining witness?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, if you just mind, be so kind to take.
Bond conditions are confirmed, including a no-contact order. The judge instructs her to sit down and hand over her phone number for the newly appointed lawyer. He speaks to her like a parent scolding a child, firm, direct, and unwilling to negotiate. This part shows the power dynamics clearly. The case has moved beyond discussion into control and compliance. Would you feel intimidated in her position?
Take a seat. If you don't mind, please giving us your cell phone, and I'm going to give it to the lawyer real quick.
My cell phone number.
Please. Don't say it out loud. And then just, you can see that he's on the screen over there on the TV.
Yes.
Yes. And then I'll give you a call this afternoon, Ms. Furlow.
Okay.
This is Mr. Brasher. He's been appointed to represent you.
Okay.
Because we are giving you a lawyer, I am waiving your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Brasher. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant. So just don't pick up any new cases. Be nice. Don't violate conditions. Stay in contact, and then everyone's happy.
Yes. And
All right, let me just send this to you real quick.
Sure, sure. And do we have a new court date or what the next?
It's 12/16.
It's set for 12/16 now.
The judge formally appoints Attorney Brasher to represent her. He waives her required appearance for December 16th, something she desperately needed, but reminds her she must stay in contact with her lawyer or a warrant will be issued. Finally, some relief. After all the tension, she gets clear direction and support. But the warning is serious. One misstep could land her right back in trouble. Do you think she will stay compliant with her lawyer's instructions? In this hearing, Ms. Furo appeared unexpectedly, attempting to clarify her situation and seek guidance. The judge emphasized that she is charged with a terroristic threat involving a family, not the man who allegedly wrecked her truck. The court stressed the need for legal representation, proper procedure, and respectful conduct. Ultimately, the judge appointed a public defender, waived her next appearance, and reinforced strict bond conditions, including no contact with the complainants. This case highlights the clash between emotional hardship and the formality of the justice system. It also shows how misunderstandings and communication breakdowns can escalate legal conflict, and how crucial proper representation truly is. If you're interested in more real courtroom breakdowns, dramatic hearings, and expert commentary, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more courtroom moments and legal insights.